Hello again my friends, this is the boy and his dog, and welcome to the channel where I talk, play, rank and review about games on the Evercade, old and new. In today's video we'll be taking a deeper dive into the Sunsoft Collection 2 of our first review, Days Before Christmas. Yeah, it's a complete wrong end of the year, isn't it? But hey, all good, let's get stuck in.
Merry Christmas.
Louis the Mouse and his cronies have stolen all the presents, leaving Santa to retrieve them all over 24 levels to save Christmas. Days Before Christmas is a platformer for 1 to 2 players alternating, developed by Funcom and released in 1994. Interestingly, this version was released in Europe, but the original was exclusive to Australia. First up, I dig the seasonal theme and how it runs through everything. Obviously the music, but the map of progression being an advent calendar with 24 doors to levels and how the doors are randomly placed as well. I just felt that was a really neat touch. And because of the level placement, you don't go through themed worlds per se, more like there are certain types of stages and you don't know which type you're going to get each time. There's one set in a house which are simple enough but get more complicated using giant candy canes to rise or lower through the stages and avoiding mistletoe, which here is certainly deadly. One set out in the snow which is the most straightforward, except it may throw you a couple of times when you have to actually fall off to what would seemingly be your end, but is actually how you access the underground caverns. The stages set in the caverns are either saving reindeer or avoiding little balls of stone, which are a little bit of fuckers if I'm honest. And the factory stages are probably the most tricksy, with tubes to get sucked up and conveyor belts to traverse. Though it's quite a cool animation when you get packaged in a present yourself, at least the first few times. And finally the stages where you control the sleigh and have to drop presents down any chimneys that have smoke coming out of them. The object of the game is to jump on all the presents and collect enough blue presents to send down chimneys on a sledge run, usually after a boss battle. Jumping and bump diving on coloured prezzies will open them to reveal anything from enemies, checkpoint bells or elves, they're the good guys. And bump diving on enemies that are either from these presents or on a patrol route will turn them into blue presents, which you can use later to drop down chimneys. Alright? So though there is no time limit or prerequisite for collecting anything or everything in a level, it's worthwhile going after all the enemies to score a decent amount of blue boxes for later. The game is bright and colourful, controls are pretty much okay, though you may have trouble like I did grabbing ropes or anything you can vertically climb or swing on. There are two ways to kill enemies, either bum them by jumping and pressing jump again on the descent to squish them beneath your vast cheekage. You can also shoot at them, which can be upgraded to flames briefly with a power up. Also handy to get those reindeers out of their confinement in the cavern stages. Another power up of sorts is a cup of tea. Weirdly, this transforms you into anti-Santa. Though honestly, what need you have for this I can't fathom. While you can swing your bag to attack, you can't break boxes in this mode, and the time is very short, although I found out after you can increase this time. But I find it a bit of a hindrance if I'm honest, so try to avoid tea. Apart from the previous mentioned stage types, there are boss stages, and they are vary enough from each other and at least try to be a little interesting, unlike the final boss at the end of the game, Mr. Weather. What a complete letdown and nonsensical for the end of the game. Still, apart from that, an enjoyable enough experience. Defo better to play in December to have that holiday spirit, otherwise you might find the fun of the season theme wear a bit thin before the end. Overall, this is a solid platformer with a great running theme that maybe wouldn't make you buy the cart for, but a fun enough diversion, and even better when you get it out at Christmas. And if you made it here to the end of the episode, thanks ever so much for joining me. Leave a thumbs up or comment if you'd like. Either way, I'm just chuffed your picture head in for a goosey gander. As always, I hope you're having the most awesomest of days, my friends. And until next time, be seeing you.